Hi guys, skyorrichegg here, and welcome back to FTL. So the response to me coming back and making some videos has been very positive. I think I've gained a lot of followers from people who just obtained the game, got access to the beta because they backed it on Kickstarter, but didn't back at the beta level, and they, were playing the game and were looking up videos on YouTube and just stumbled upon me. And I'd like to say hey, and thanks for watching my videos. But I've also had a few questions about tips and just strategies while playing the game. And I don't think I'm entirely the best person to do this because I have a particular play style. I tend to like a pretty aggressive get over on the enemy ship and start bashing the crap out of their guys with my Mantis. But I have some general tactics. I've played a heck of a lot of this FTL. I've not played it on the normal gameplay, and I've not played it as much as some people, so I'm clearly not always the best person. I don't always play my best, and I make mistakes, especially when I'm recording. I make all sorts of stupid things and oversights, and I don't think things through, and I get myself embroiled in all sorts of trouble. But I have a lot of fun, and I try my best, and I have some general tactics I try that I think are pretty good. And so I'd like to share some of that, and people have asked me for help. Most of this stuff is probably only going to apply to the easy mode, but some of it might be adaptable to the normal mode. Normal is hard. Normal is very, very hard. So good luck with that. I've been mostly playing in easy because I want to unlock all the ships, and it just hurts when I'm playing a normal game and I get the secret race and I can't make it to the where I need to get them, and that just hurts and it's depressing. So I really want to unlock everything before I really commit to really learning everything there is to know about normal mode and just how to really excel at that. But I am going to play FTL like I'm starting from scratch. So probably my next few videos I'm going to be playing with the Kestrel. I might play with its variant as well, because I might talk about, while I'm playing through this, tactics for unlocking the next variant. This is the type of stuff you're going to be doing as soon as you open up a game. And I might also do some stuff with the Taurus, because I believe the Taurus is the one that you unlock by getting to Sector 5, which is relatively easy to accomplish. So you'll get the Taurus pretty early on, and you'll be unlocking its variant too. It's a pretty fun one, and you get to... I haven't actually played as either of the variants before, so the Type Bs. But for this first one, I'm going to be playing like I just started a game. I just started a new game. I don't have anything else. And so I'm coming in and I've got this, the Kestrel here. So, you can come up here and you can rename it to whatever. And so we got this, and name this to Fenris, of course. And you start with your two weapons. You got your Artemis missiles and your burst laser 2. We're going to start this on easy, because that's what we need to do. Now, when you're in this screen, you're probably going to want to look at, because it's not very easy to access it while in game, you're going to want to look at what you're trying to accomplish. So one of the achievements in order to unlock the Type B is you need to have 6 unique aliens on the Kestrel cruiser simultaneously. Now, I nearly got this one. I was mad that I could not find a slug person. Even though I was in the slug homeworld, I could not find a slug person. And I was not happy, because I went to every single shop trying to get it. I had an NG, I had a Mantis, I had a Rockman, I had a Zoltan, and I had a human. I just needed either the secret race, which I didn't run into at all, or I needed the slug guy. And so I went to the slug homeworld hoping I could buy one from a shop. and it didn't work. So I was not happy about that. So this is not the easiest one to accomplish, that's for sure, unless you get very lucky, which is definitely possible. Luck is a big part of this game. Full arsenal. This one you are going to be able to do. Hopefully you'll be able to take away from these videos the knowledge gain that you'll be able to accomplish this goal. You just need to have every system and subsystem installed on the Kestrel Cruiser at one time. Tough little ship. As the Kestrel Cruiser, repair back to full health when it only has 1 HP remaining. Now this one is a little bit harder. You're probably going to want to play a game specifically to get this achievement. You're going to want to do it in the first sector, and you're going to probably have to disable your shields and engines to just let it bash the crap out of you, and then have enough money on hand, so you're going to want, I don't know, somewhere around the 80s or 90s in scrap, so that and be one jump away from a shop, and then you just go in there and you repair all from 1 HP. It's not that hard, but you basically have to, unless you get extremely unlucky, you're going to have to play a game specifically to get this one, which is what I had to do. But we're gonna concentrate on this one. I'll show you maybe in another video kind of what you can do to get this one. But this one is very attainable basically in everyone. You should be able to do this in most ships. And the Kestrel's a great ship, so let's do this. So yep, get this. First thing, I don't always do this because I forget and I get excited about doing a new run, but you're going to want to distribute your guys to things. Generally, I put one on engines because I really like what engines can do, the dodge chance, and see if you have a person manning it, unskilled, they give +5. +5 evasion. Same with piloting, but you're going to have a guy on piloting pretty much all the time anyways, hopefully. And then the next one I'm going to want, I generally do, is weaponry. You might want to do shields, but I prefer weaponry because I like the way how it reduces the cooldown on my weapons. Now before you move on, you're probably also going to want to rearrange these how you want them. I generally want my laser first. I like having my laser, if they accidentally hit, in a situation like this, if they take out one of my weapons, and I have just these two enabled, this burst laser will go down. But if I have it like this, and I'll still have my missile, but I'll lose my burst laser. But if I have it like this, if they hit my weapons, and I lose one power bar, I will lose my missiles. Which isn't quite as bad, I feel like. Missiles are awesome because they bypass shields. But there's a limited number of them, so in sticky situations, I don't want to have to be depending on that. And the lasers are infinite, and they can go through this set of lasers. If they don't have much dodge chance, they can eat through two shields and hit them in a spot. So it's very handy. Okay, so generally when I start, I don't do this as much as I should, but this is probably something you should get in the habit of. So you should look at the general scope of the sector, and you're going to want to look at a path that is going to get to the exit. You don't want to get cut off somewhere up here and there's not a sector you can jump to make it to the exit, but you're going to want to find a kind of path that allows you to maximize as many of these nodes as possible before you exit. That is a big part of this game, is being able to farm out a sector and get as much scrap out of it as possible and then get to the exit. Sometimes you're going to allow the encroaching fleet to get past the exit before you get there, and you're going to have to fight through some of those annoying elite fighters. It's not always advised with all ships. There's definitely some ships I don't recommend you do that on, but on this one you can face the elite fighter pretty easily. You don't want to waste a ton of missiles on it trying to take it down because it only gives you one fuel, but yeah, you're going to want to do that. So generally, I will do something like go parallel, like right here. Oh, wait, one more thing. When also looking at this, you're going to want to look for the nebula areas. Nebula areas are kind of annoying because they have some environmental hazards that are pretty annoying. but they also give you more time in sector, which is a great thing, and means generally more scrap for you. So you want to go through nebulas because they allow you more time in sector. So I'm going to go down here. Yeah, I'm going to go down here. It's always a tough choice. This is why I don't usually think about it too much. I mean, someone else could probably, find the optimal route through. Oh, hey, look. This is great. I just get free stuff. This is nice. I don't have to face anything. Probably not as much as if I had faced something, but still pretty decent. Ooh, Asteroid Field. Asteroid Fields are not this bad. Not that bad right now. But this guy's got cloaking, so that's pretty annoying, as well as a missile. So that's not cool. He's going to get one missile off on me, which isn't good. Hopefully it doesn't hit like my shields. Well, this is not good. See, this is not good. Him disabling my shields, which of course he was going to, because if my shields are up and this ion blast hits me, it's going to disable my shields. So we are going to want to... We're going to target the shields with the missile, and we're going to target the weapons with the burst laser. I usually prioritize weapons early over shields, but we want to end this fight early because he can disable my shields pretty well. And so I'm going to use up one of my missiles. I only have 10 of them. I'm going to use one of them and fight and damage him. The good thing about easy compared to how I feel easy used to be in the beta is missiles seem to be a lot more plentiful, so it's not too bad just expending a few of them in the early sectors to deal with pesky problems like this. Oh, there we go. Beat him. Didn't do too much damage. And now that I don't have the ion blast and no lasers coming in, I am basically invincible to the asteroids, and I can just wait this out. So not too bad. Took 2 things of damage, but not too bad. So yeah. Okay. So I went backwards here because I kind of want to maximize my time in sector, and look at this. I get to intervene to defend the outpost, and I get to fight this guy. Now this guy has 2 burst laser level 1s, it looks like, so that's 2 shots each, maybe 1 shot, I think. I think they're 2 shots each, but these might just be 1 shots. I'm not sure. I'm gonna not use a missile on this. I think I'm just gonna burst down his lasers. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I took down his lasers, so I'm basically good now until he repairs these. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna take down his shields to make everything easier fighting him. I don't have to, eat through his shields each time. Oh, well, that was bad. That was bad. I missed 2 shots in a row there. He must have decent dodge. Now, if his gun hadn't come back on, I might have gone for his piloting or something like that. I don't know. Usually depends. I might have still gone for his shields, but I don't know. So I'm just going to target his weaponry again. It's a little slower. This might be boring, but it's the safer way because I don't want to take as much damage. See? Okay. Let's bring it back online. Yeah. Even though this one can't get through, I don't want him to have time repairing to be able to get the other one out so that he can. So I'm just going to keep targeting that. It's slower, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and target his piloting. I don't usually do this. Normally, dang it. Whatever. I'm targeting his piloting just for the heck of it. Just to cut down on his stinking dodge chance. Oh, see, you got them both back up, but I think they're going to be out of time now, so my shield won't have any trouble blocking him, or I could just blow him up. That works too. Okay, so I get some nice parts, and because it's an outpost that I saved, you also get this sometimes when you save a ship from pirates, I get some extra stuff too. Okay, so I've got a pretty sizable amount of stuff here. This is pretty decent, but I'm gonna hold off. See, 127. It's always good before you upgrade systems to check your map one more time to see if there's like a store nearby. because that might be good. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this store and check out what's here. So what do we got? What do we got? Crew teleporter, cloaking. Don't have quite enough for cloaking. But I do have enough for this halberd beam, which required power 3. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get that. Beam weapons are very powerful. They're a lot more powerful than I thought they were. They were this way before, but it wasn't as obvious back then. Here, let me show you in not here in the equipment. Before, if I recall correctly, there was not this note on the tooltip. Note: beam damage is reduced by 1 for every shield it passes through, which allows for partial shield piercing. Before, I felt like it said something like, beam weapons are blocked by shields, or something like that. It was something very vague and made it sound like as long as you had 1 shield up, beams did no damage. And beam weapons, they're very powerful. They can carve through whole ships, but I thought that they required you to have the shields all down. But this is not the case. And because of that, I didn't prioritize them as much as I prioritized lasers, because I just wanted a huge barrage of lasers that could just eat through shields. Beams didn't do that, I thought. But apparently beams, they don't eat through shields. Well, they sort of do, but for every damage that they do, this one does 2 damage per room hit, if you see. It'll be able to go through a shield. So this one, if they have 1 shield on, I could use this beam weapon, and it would do 1 damage to each room it hits, which is still very powerful. And if they have no shields, like if I disable it with my burst laser or with my missiles, then it'll do 2 damage. So they're very, very powerful because they can damage multiple rooms, and they're just great. So it's nice to have a beam weapon, it's nice to have a missile weapon, and it's nice to have a laser. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to do that, have each one of those, that's for sure. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try to build up an arsenal that utilizes 8, because your maximum is 8. 8 power weapon point things, anyways. And has decent cooldown, or you have like a weapon pre-igniter or 2 weapon reloaders or something like that. So you want powerful weapons that do what you want to do, that synergizes well with the rest of your stuff. And that you kind of have to play by ear, and there's multiple ways you can do this, and there's lots of great weaponry, and that's one of the great things about this game. So I spent enough time talking about this, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, most of the time, I don't really talk about why I'm doing some things, I just do them. So in this situation, I'd also probably, let's go ahead and get 1 power bar. No, we'll hold off. We'll wait. Yeah, we need to gain some more scrap here. So I'm gonna head over here. Heading over here. Attack the pirates. Nice. Okay, so this guy has a anti-ship laser drone, which are pretty annoying because it's constantly here eating away at my shield, which is annoying. If you had like 2 of these, we'd be in big trouble. We'd need to prioritize that. Basically, right now, this is a slightly higher priority in my mind than this. And the reason for that is, if my shield gets damaged, for some reason, like I lose my shields, or I lose my engines and my dodge chance, or both, the laser has a recharge time, so it only happens every once in a while and bursts through and damages me. Now the anti-ship enemy combat drone, the anti-ship combat drone, on the other hand, is constantly firing at me. So if my shields go down, this thing is just going to start damaging systems left and right. It's just going to be terrible. So I need to get this thing down to prevent that from happening if something bad happens somehow. It's a slightly more important than the laser, in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to target this. Still conserving my missiles. It might be a good idea in this situation to... good, I've dodged that. Okay, so took down that. It might have been a good idea in this situation to use my missile to either target the shields or the weapons, but I thought I could handle this. If things had gotten out of hand, I would have done it, but we're fine. So, save myself a missile. I try to save the stuff that's expendable. Like, I don't use drones if I don't need to, so that I don't have to buy more drone parts. I don't use missiles if I don't feel like I need to, that type thing. Uh-oh. Okay, so he's asking to surrender. He's offering me 3 missiles, a drone part, and scrap. Now, this is a pretty good deal. You get a good amount of missiles, but I tend to want more scrap more than I want other stuff in the early game. So I'm going to continue attacking in the hope that I can get more than 14 scrap. So I really just need to hit this guy once more, hopefully. Come on, before he warps out of here. There we go. Okay. I mean, I meant twice more. Okay, so I got 20 more scrap, 1 less missile, but I find that was worth it. Plus, the station gives me some nice stuff, too. Not very much, but I'll take it. Okay, so I'm in the situation where I can get down to this nebula still. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that'll slow down the fleet slightly. Just slightly. Okay. So in this situation, unfortunately, yeah, they had 2 lasers, which is not fun. One of which does 2 damage if it hits on my hull, which is not good. You start to be able to tell what different lasers do and what different missiles do and what different beams do just by them sticking out of the side of the thing, so that's kind of helpful. I'm going to get my O2 back on because I'm not really in any danger here. I disabled their weapons for now, and then I'm now going to disable the shields, so not too worried. Got this guy pretty well locked down. Now, one thing you'll notice that's not... Okay, so I get some stuff, yeah. That's not very good about nebulas is they cut down on... They take off your sensor subsystem. So that's not very fun. You can't see if there's fires or breaches on your ship. Because unless there's people in the room, you can't tell what's going on there. And the same goes for the enemy ship if you have the upgraded sensors. Now... one thing that you can do in the case of fires and breaches is, with breaches, you can hear a kind of hissing noise of oxygen kind of escaping from your ship, and you can then like go room to room to try to find it, but you can know that that's going on. You might also be able to tell because your oxygen's going down, and you're like, I mean, it's not life-threatening because it's just that room that's losing oxygen, but you'll be like, oh, why is that happening? You might not look over there though. Another thing is the fires. You can hear the fires kind of crackling. So that lets you know that there's something on the ship going. And if it's in a room with a system or subsystem, you'll see that there's like a little flame symbol above it, and you start to lose it. So that'll tell you where it's at if it's in one of those rooms. It might be in one of these rooms that doesn't have anything in it yet, or never will have anything in it. But yeah, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and go to this next one. So you saw how much less the fleet had gone because we're in a nebula. Perhaps it's... okay. And this is a pretty nice, easy scout. Has no shields. It might have some high dodge chance that might be higher. I'm not really sure. We can pretty safely just target its weapons in this situation. Now it has a ion blast and a laser, and I think it's an ion blast, some ion cannon thing. It's going to disable my shields and allow the laser to shoot through, which is kind of annoying, but we'll deal with it as it comes. No issues. Oh, lost my sensors. Not that it really matters in this area. So we disabled everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and send this guy over here. Even though I'm losing some, you know, gaining skill. He's gaining this skill, which I would have gained after the battle anyways, but I want to minimize the amount of downtime we have in between battles. Okay. Now, in this one, I have a choice between going to this distress and this beacon right here. I think I'm going to go to this distress. It basically guarantees some sort of scrap of some sort, but there are a few distress, because it's usually like a ship asking for help or something, or a pirate pretending to be a ship asking for help. Sometimes, though, it's some annoying events that are like you find a guy on living on a planet by himself and stuff like that that are pretty annoying. I'm not too happy about those ones. Huh. I've never seen this one before. Maybe I have. I just don't remember it. The distress signal is coming from a small space station orbiting an uninhabited planet. Their satellite defense system has gone haywire, and their repair crew can't approach without being fired on. They're looking for help to fix or disable it. Destroy the defense system from a distance. Sure. Okay, so I took some damage. I fire a few volleys, but aren't able to penetrate the defense. Its weapons have no trouble piercing yours, though, and you take minor damage before escaping. That's sad. So I just took damage, didn't gain anything from it. That kind of sucks. But it's okay. Roll with the punches. That's what this game's about. It was worth it to try for it, because those things don't always have a guaranteed outcome of some sort. Maybe it might be true I might have needed more shields, and I'll try to remember that in the future, and that might have increased my chances or given me better randomized options. But from what I've read from the developers is that pretty much a lot of these things have randomized. There's never really a straight this happens and this happens. There's not too many of those, at least. Okay, so we get some free fuel and we get a quest, so that's fun. It's no disadvantage if I don't end up completing the quest, so mostly it's just free fuel for now and a choice on completing the quest if I want. So that's handy. Aid the civilian ship, of course, because we want scrap. Unless I was doing a pacifist run, basically our mantra should be engage, engage, engage. All this stuff is free scrap. We want it. Okay, in this situation, he has a beam. So that, I think, this one right here only does 1 damage per section. So I think it cannot penetrate my shields. He also has this laser that I think it's a heavy laser, Mark 1. It shoots just 1 laser and it will deal 2 damage to the hull. And he has an attack drone. So that'll be constantly bringing my shield down. So I think we're going to target the attack drone first. Actually, I may use a missile here. Yeah, I'm going to use a missile. Let's make sure everything goes down. See? Yeah. I want everything to go down here. So he took out my piloting there, which leaves me without evade right now, which is not good. I need this repaired. And it's almost repaired. There we go. Okay, and we basically out of this 1-1. It's definitely worth the use of a missile there, I think. Minimize some of the damage we'd take. Okay. Oh, nice. They're gonna repair some of my... Well, they did before I mentioned it. They repaired some of my hull damage. Okay, now... In this situation, I have a couple options trying to estimate how far this is going to go. If I go to this one, in the time that I go there, the next one's going to envelop this. And so I'm not going to be able to go there, and I won't be able to get to the exit. Now, I probably actually don't want... I think what I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to want to go to this far one, visit it, and then it'll advance just to the outside of the exit. And then I'm going to want to go there. And then I'm going to want to go past it and try to visit one. I might be able to get a second one, but I doubt it. Maybe if I go down here and I can get this one before this bottom curve gets up to this one, we'll see. But then I'll probably have to fight through 2. But let's give it a try. I think if I go this one, I'm going to have to do down here and up here. And yeah, I'm not sure how many I'll get. This probably isn't maximizing it, but you know, I gotta guess a little bit here. Okay, so I need to demand to surrender their goods. Now, this is a special circumstance, and I want scrap in this situation. And I also don't want to take too much damage, and I don't want to expend too many missiles. So there's a lot of conflicting interests, but mainly I do not want these people to escape, because if they escape, any resources I've expended, such as missiles or damage I've taken, is wasted in this battle. And I want to prevent that from happening. So I don't want to expend a ton of missiles, but I will probably in this fight to aid me a little bit. And they have a missile here, which is not good. And I think, yeah, it's basically mine. It's an Artemis missile system. So I'm going to want to target that, and I'm also going to want to target their engines. Actually, I'm going to hold off on my missile first until I make sure I disable their engines. I'm going to take one missile blast, and hopefully it's not going to hit my weapon system. Or my shields. Shields aren't really good either, but not as bad as my missile system.